And I just do both sides at the same time, just work my way down it. If I take very much off this one, I usually give it a quick little stroke like that, because it can push a little bit of material out the other side. See, this is actually not taking a whole lot off, but a couple of the teeth where they had little dings where I had to grind a little more are taking a little extra off. You know, and as far as telling when you're done, for one, you'll hit a couple teeth in the row that you're not taking anything off. The other thing you'll see is they'll get shiny from where you already did them. Like those are all shiny. So this one's ready to go. So same raker gauge if I can pick it up. Now you could use a file card, clean your file up. I know some guys that do, but these teeth are pretty hard, so it doesn't gum it up too bad, and I usually just give it a tap or wipe it on the pants. It's good enough. Just don't tell my wife, she probably doesn't like metal shavings in the laundry, but you know. Like that, this one's done. Got an upcoming project on that little saw. That was just up there, the MS-180. Oiler's giving me fits. Need to put a new oiler in it. Don't think I'll do that tonight. Now the other thing, person could do too, like if you're worried, you could put a dab of ink on there so you know where you're going, or look for your 2 teeth on the one side if you have it. This chain doesn't, but this yellow link, the paint's wore off on this side. That would be your master length, where that goes on. So you could always just do that, where I'm just starting one tooth behind that one. Now this one, it you know, it's removing a fair amount of material, but if you see the angle this sits down there on, it fair amount of what I'm removing right now is just putting that angle in there. Next time I file the riders, it'll just, you know, just be purely depth. See, when you're doing these are your depth gauge, riders, rakers. It's all the same thing. And this height in relation to your tooth dictates how much wood you're taking off. That's why, like, this has a hard and a soft side. And there is a measurement there. I don't remember what it is. But your harder woods, you want to take a little less at a time. Soft, you can take more. Get into something like cedar there, that's done. Something like cedar, you could take even more. I think redwood got similar to cedar. I don't know. I've never cut any. There's different styles. Like here's another style. And it sets right there. Then you just go straight across. But what I don't like is I feel that this is averaging this tooth and this tooth. You'll take a touch more off of this tooth, it's quite a bit short, but not enough. Because you can set your grinder to settle your teeth the same, and then you can try and just do a couple strokes, and you know, some people have good luck with that, I guess. But if I'm hand filing, I just file till it's sharp. And even on the grinder, I get to a tooth. I had a couple in my grinder video there where it's like, oh, this one needs a little more off, and I just adjust that in a little bit and I take a little more off. You know, so well, this chain's gonna be fun. Taking a fair amount off on this one. this is an older chain. I've always cut firewood and stuff, but I've just recently kind of got serious about the firework. Been doing a little bit of tree work too, and learned a lot just in the last year or thereabouts about chainsaw chaining and stuff, because I guess I got sidetracked there. The reason I like this and the way it does every tooth off itself is it helps you cut straighter. If your cut is going down like this and then it starts kind of creeping over, there's a couple things that can cause that. The most likely is your depth gauges aren't, your rakers, your depth gauge isn't properly set for your tooth height, and you got one side grabbing more than the other. And I have seen people that are really good at what they do, and they're like, oh, I'm pulling that way, need to take a couple strokes off, you know, this side and straighten it out. And if you're one of those guys, well, all the more power to you. I like to just use a gauge. You know, I'm not that good at it. You know, but give her a quick scrub. This one, and that's where I'm kind of at with this one, is I probably got this chain 5-6 years ago. It was pretty beat up, so my guess is I tattooed a rock with it and just set it aside. You know, that wasn't the best thing to do, but my skill level at the time, it's like I set it aside and take it into somewhere and get it ground. But now my wife and daughters got me my own grinder, you know, and plus like I said, I've learned a fair amount recently about them. And it's just kind of funny because your skill level and knowledge improved. You know, this is like a step back in time. It's like, so I was grinding this, I was looking at the inconsistencies of the angle of my hand file, the lack of cleaning the gullet out when I filed it. You know, and just the fact that this chain is 3/4 wore out. The riders are never been touched. That was part of the reason I put this one back on. Actually, you guys, now that I think about it, my grinder video didn't show this, because this was one I had already done. And the one I did in there was one that was on this saw. This is my 25-inch bar. It was on this saw. And I had already done that one and cleaned that one up. That's the one I had been using most recently. This was one I turned off. Figured I showed enough grinding, and I knocked out 2 old 25-inch ones I found, and this is one of those. And it was ugly. You know, so, but you know, it's all about learning. You know, kind of the way I look at it is, nobody knew it all to begin with. No matter how much they might try and tell you they did, you know, no one did. You know, you learn, and some people learn faster than others, and some, you know, got lucky and got in with the right kind of people, and part of it's a a career thing, you know. I never did much logging. Did a little bit once, one summer. That was it. Yeah, I worked in the timber industry. I primarily worked in sawmills, though. Let's see. I guess I'll just have to do the rakers when I put them on. I was trying to think of a way to do it. That little clamp doesn't really give me much room to work around. You can do it with the grinder. I think there's a way to set it up, but grinding wheels aren't super expensive, but I prefer just to do that by hand. The grinder is really nice, don't get me wrong. And I have kind of, you know, picked up a few more things. I need to get them swapped. I caught a nice little deal. 2 oxygen in acetylene tanks, 1 cutting torch set, an argon tank. That's just a little cheap 110 welder. But I wanted the argon tank for my 220 wire feed. But there we go. That has all 5 of my chainsaws ready to go. About midnight. Probably call that good. Here's a couple other things I'll show you. Upcoming. Some upcoming content. Little preview for you. So I have this nice one. I couldn't find any marking. It's nice and pitted. That's a nice little one there. I'll get that rehandled and just remove just enough for a nice splitting edge. Look at this. This is in thousandth. Here's something to show you. That leaves 1 mark left over going inside. I don't feel like counting thousandths in there. And that takes up that last mark. This side is wider than this side. Mount this on top right like that. Won't ever come off on you. Here's another nice one. I'll put a handle in. This will make a nice chopper. Once again, no markings on it that I could find. But that's a nice chopper. This one will be a nice splitter. That one will end up somewhat like this. This is my favorite splitter right there. So I just need to pick up some handles and make some time. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good one.